Now it's 3:15, time for the news.
Good afternoon. Police in Northern Ireland are questioning 5 men about the devastating bomb in Omagh at the weekend. The arrests came as police on both sides of the Irish border prepared to meet to discuss the cross-border investigation. The RUC has released the names of 26 of the 28 who died, among them many women and children.
From the courthouse at one end of the town to the bomb scene at the other, Omagh has this morning been a quiet and subdued place. Those who have ventured out, perhaps to buy a paper, have seen the pictures of friends and relatives staring back at them. As a mark of respect, much of Omagh will today stay closed. The damage around the seat of the explosion is massive. It's obvious why the human cost was so horrendous. One of the shops here sold school uniforms. It's little wonder then that there were so many mothers and children in the area 2 weeks before the start of the new term. Northern Ireland's First Minister and Ulster Unionist leader David Trimble has been to Omagh this morning. He believes both the British and Irish governments will implement in full any new security measures deemed necessary by the RUC and the Irish police.
Whatever they recommend and whatever government does must be supported by all responsible elements in society.
Meanwhile, the people of Omagh continue to remember those now lost to them. This is the most difficult of times, and many dark days lie ahead. John Irvine, ITN, Omagh.
We go live to our political correspondent at Stormont now. Hugh, what is the latest on the government's response to what happened?
Well, behind me here at Stormont House, the Secretary of State, Mo Mowlam, has been meeting her Irish counterpart, the Irish Justice Minister, John O'Donoghue, the police chiefs, Ronnie Flanagan of the RUC and Pat Byrne, the Gardaí Commissioner. This is the crucial meeting to decide the security response north and south of the border. The police chiefs met this morning. They're making their recommendations to the ministers now. They're due out any minute, actually, to make some sort of announcement.
And any details of specific action to be taken?
Not so far. As one source put it, we're hardly likely to reveal detailed measures because that would reveal too much to the very people that we're chasing. The sort of indications I'm getting are that internment as an option north of the border in Northern Ireland is less likely. It's regarded as something that possibly isn't workable and wouldn't necessarily yield benefits. South of the border, Bertie Ahern, the Taoiseach, has said it is an option that's being considered, but again is regarded as less likely. I think we're more likely to see a series of detailed emergency powers which police feel would help them catch the people responsible.
Thank you, Hugh. And today's other main news, President Clinton is just a few hours away from the toughest challenge of his presidency. He's due to testify to a grand jury about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky, and afterwards he's set to make a televised address to the American people. One other piece of news, the American balloonist Steve Fossett is heading home after his 4th attempt to fly around the world ended in failure. His balloon ditched into the sea during a thunderstorm 500 miles off the Australian coast. His life raft has now been picked up by a New Zealand Navy tanker. And someone else lucky to be alive, Liam Evans, the toddler who survived a car crash in North Wales that killed his grandfather. His mother Ruth said today he was fine, but a bit dirty after spending 3 days on a remote mountainside. On the early evening news, the latest developments, of course, on the main news of the day, the aftermath of that devastating bomb in Omagh. Join me for the early evening news, 5:40.
Good afternoon, I'm Alistair Stewart. This is London Today. A Surrey community is in shock today after 12-year-old James Barker was killed in the terrorist blast in Omagh. His parents, Donna Maria and Victor Barker, had moved